If you are under age 45, your brain's ability to change and the amount of effort that you put in, you have a lot more leverage, meaning that you could put in 50% effort and get 100% change because naturally your brain just has more of that neuroplasticity going. When you are over age 45, the amount of effort that you need to put in order to get your brain to change, it increases. If you are ready to burn bright instead of burning out, to lead without losing yourself, and to enjoy the life you have worked so hard to create, then keep listening. I'm your host, America's leader on Rewiring Perfectionism, CLG, and this is Perfectionism Rewired, the podcast. Welcome to Perfectionism Rewired. Today, I am talking neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain and nervous systems, that's the neuro part, your ability for them to be shaped and rewired through new learning and experiences. A great visualization for this is to imagine that your brain and nervous systems are a huge power grid. There are billions of pathways that light up every time you think, feel, or do something. Putting neuroplasticity into action means that we are creating new pathways while also strengthening the best of the existing ones. An example from a one-on-one coaching client inside Perfectionism Optimized this week, where she realized that she had left the garage door open. Previously, this is something that she would beat herself up about. She would feel really guilty calling her husband to let him know about it. She would be thinking about all the things that could have been stolen, what a bad mom she is, et cetera, et cetera. This week, she said, I was driving to work. I realized I left the garage open and I immediately called my husband and let him know. He closed it and I didn't even think if anything was stolen. I didn't beat myself up. And she was like, it was such a different experience. Do you see that right there? That's neuroplastic change in action. And it means that you are rewiring your habitual nature into the direction where you'd really like to go. The direction where this client really wants to go and is going is that she has a closer relationship with her partner, that she trusts herself, that she's no longer spinning out over day-to-day things, that she's the present, fun, joyful parent that she wants to be. And a great way to start to dip your toes into neuroplasticity is the Perfect Start introductory session. That is where you are asked questions that provoke new perspectives, releasing a flood of fresh neurotransmitters as more regions in your brain become activated as it looks for answers. The relationship between neuroplasticity and perfectionism goes back to that basic principle of use it or lose it. Just like the muscles in our bodies, our brain needs regular exercise and stimulation in order to grow and stay in shape, especially if you are a high achiever. Neural connections and networks grow and become stronger when they are used, or they weaken and fade away if they are neglected. So when you are not using the neural pathways of discipline instead of punishment, of reflection instead of rumination, those neural pathways wither away and die. If you continuously ruminate over your failures and your mistakes and what went wrong in the past, those become literally wired into your brain. That actually obscures the way that you perceive yourself. Right now, you are doing neuroplasticity. What you're doing is you are strengthening the connections that you don't actually want to be having. Your brain will always retain its ability to change and grow until the day that you die. But what does happen if you are under age 45, your brain's ability to change and the amount of effort that you put in, you have a lot more leverage, meaning that you could put in 50% effort and get 100% change because naturally your brain just has more of that neuroplasticity going. When you are over age 45, the amount of effort that you need to put in order to get your brain to change it increases. There isn't an age limit, but there is a tipping point. If you are 45 or under, you want to jump on coming and working with me doing this rewiring. When you start now, you're not going to have to put in as much effort than if you decide to start 6 months from now. So if you're not already working with me, come on over. And the way that you can do that is I will put a link in the show notes, but you can go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/services and you will see all of the different ways that you can work with me. If you exercise your brain correctly and often enough, which is what I teach you, it will become more powerful. And when you intentionally nourish your cognitive flexibility, this feeds directly into your healthy brain years or your brain span. This is what makes it so that you don't get Alzheimer's or other neurological degenerative diseases like dementia. And also, do you know that brains can get bored just like people do? Novelty is one of the key differentiators in order for neuroplasticity to take place, along with some others that I teach you and I give you the resources for when you work with me. If you want to rewire your perfectionism, to shift out of the rigidity, then I invite you to come and work with me and become a playful perfectionist. Listen up. Taking charge of your perfectionism is so much easier than you have been led to believe. Whether you want to stop playing out worst case scenarios in your head or be joyfully present, ambitious again, you don't need more rigid rules, guesswork, or hard work in perfectionism recovery. You need a framework that helps you understand and, most importantly, rewire your perfectionistic habits from the inside out. It starts inside of Perfectionism Optimized. Besides the obvious mental health and wellness benefits, rewiring your perfectionism is the fastest way to figure out what's really underneath your perfectionistic patterns. This radically different, proven, proprietary approach helps you succeed by dropping the contempt and judgment that blocks change. Discover how to trust yourself, take control of your world, and feel truly empowered to own your perfectionism instead of being owned by it. Head on over to CourtneyLoveGavin.com and start your transformation today.